If you ever drive through Black Hollow, Georgia, you probably wouldn't slow down. It's the kind of town you pass without remembering. Fewer than 900 residents, one gas station, a diner that closes before 9, and a single white church standing at the center of it all. Hollow Creek Church has been there since 1891. Tall stained glass windows, a narrow bell tower, fresh paint that hides old wood beneath it. On Sundays, it looks peaceful. Families gather. Children run across the gravel parking lot. Nothing feels unusual, but every night at exactly 12:07 a.m., something happens that no one in town can explain. The church doors lock from the inside. Not slowly, not gently. They slam shut with a force strong enough to rattle the windows. There are no automatic locking systems installed. No timed mechanisms, no security guards posted overnight. According to church records, the building is always empty by 10 p.m. Yet every night at 12:07, the doors seal themselves. Locals don't advertise it. There's no official curfew, but everyone follows what they call the midnight rule. No one approaches the church after midnight. The rule became serious in 1998. Two high school seniors decided the midnight rule was nothing more than a superstition created to scare teenagers. They parked across the street just before midnight and began filming on a handheld camcorder. The timestamp read 12:06 a.m. as they stepped onto the church steps. What happened next was recorded. At exactly 12:07, the doors slammed shut. The camera dropped to the ground. The footage cuts to darkness and muffled shouting. Only one of the boys came home. At sunrise, he was found barefoot along Route 19, nearly 6 miles away, disoriented, his feet bleeding. He kept repeating the same sentence over and over. It wasn't empty. He refused to say anything else. The second boy was never found. Police labeled it a runaway case. The file was closed within weeks. But people in town noticed something strange. The sheriff at the time, Daniel Mercer, resigned 3 months later. No scandal. No public explanation. He simply moved out of state. Years later, a former deputy claimed Mercer once said, "Some buildings should never have been placed where they stand." Few understood what he meant until someone checked old property records. Hollow Creek Church was built directly above a mining tunnel that collapsed in 1889. Official documents describe it as a minor structural failure, but local archives mentioned something different. Workers refusing to re-enter the tunnel after hearing movement beneath the rockfall. The collapse was never fully cleared. The tunnel was simply sealed. Construction of the church began 2 years later. In 2001, a traveling drifter passing through Black Hollow claimed he heard singing beneath the church floor just after midnight. He described it as multiple voices, low and distant, coming from below. He left town the next morning. In 2003, the church basement entrance was quietly boarded up. No announcement, no explanation to the congregation, just sealed wood over a door that had existed for over a century. Then came the second incident. In 2008, a freelance journalist researching abandoned mining towns visited Black Hollow. She had heard rumors of the midnight rule and decided to stay overnight in a car across from the church. At 12:06 a.m., everything was silent. At 12:07, the doors shut. Her audio recorder picked up something strange just before the impact, a low vibration, almost like distant machinery grinding underground. The next morning, she tried to interview residents. No one agreed to speak on camera. Her article was never published. In 2012, the town council approved security cameras facing the church entrance. Officially, it was to prevent vandalism. Unofficially, people wanted proof. The footage from multiple nights shows the same pattern. At 12:06, the doors remain open. At 12:07, the camera feed turns to static for several seconds. At 12:08, the signal returns. The doors are closed. No visible movement. No person entering or exiting. An electrical expert from a nearby county was asked to inspect the system. He found no wiring connected to the doors. No timed locking mechanisms. Nothing that could explain the force behind the closure. Today, Sunday services still happen as usual. Weddings are held. Funerals take place. Children are baptized beneath stained glass windows, but no event has ever been scheduled past midnight. Not once. And if you ask residents about the midnight rule, they don't laugh it off. They don't deny it either. They lower their voices. They change the subject, because in small towns like Black Hollow, silence isn't accidental. It's maintained. Some believe the mining tunnel beneath the church was never fully empty. Some believe something has always moved beneath it. And some believe the doors don't lock to keep people out. They lock to keep something from coming up. So if you ever pass through Black Hollow, Georgia, and the clock reads 12:06 a.m., you have 1 minute to decide whether to stay, because at 12:07, the doors will close. And whatever is beneath that church won't be alone.